It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Right now on the 10 o'clock news.
Congress fails to act, dueling healthcare bills are shot down in the Senate without a yes. It'll cause prices to skyrocket.
A courtroom camera fight. The accused assassin of Charlie Kirk appears in front of a judge. His lawyers pushing to limit media access.
Another day of cold, blustery weather, and don't expect much relief from the Arctic chill. Welcome to the 10 o'clock news. I'm Natasha Verma.
And I'm Steve Lacey. Yeah, that cold weather will usher in with it the chance of snow.
Chief Meteorologist Nick Gregory is tracking this cold snap that just won't break. Nick.
Yeah, it's reinforced by these strong westerly winds today that were just gusting at times up over 50 miles per hour, like Baiting Hollow and Bayville on Long Island. There you go, 52, 51 miles per hour. Newark and Elizabeth in New Jersey, the mid 45, 46 mile per hour range, and Brooklyn even gusting to 43. Same for Bridgeport. Right now, the winds are still pretty strong. We're 15, occasionally 18 miles an hour sustained out of the west, and the gusts are still pushing 25 to 30. But the wind advisory has been taken down for all of the area, but we will keep a gusty breeze tonight, and it will be a bit breezy again tomorrow. In the meantime, the temperatures are heading down into the 20s. We have 25 Sussex, down already 19 there in Sullivan County, 30 across the island, upper 20s from the city down to the Jersey Shore. And with that wind, it feels like it's in the teens just about everywhere you go, except right around the city in the lower 20s there. All right, we've seen some snow squalls come off the Great Lakes, but they're just sort of drying out before they get here. We're not really concerned about that. Now, there's a weak system that'll be passing off to our south. That's not the one we're worried about. Just past Bismarck, you look up there towards western Canada. That's the next system coming our way, and it's going to sort of dive south and eastward and arrive here early Sunday morning, and that's going to be our threat for snow. Tonight, clear, cold, mid-20s in the city and along the coast. It does get down to the mid-teens in the colder spots north and west. Tomorrow, sunshine, but it's not going to help all that much. It's mostly low and middle 30s with a gusty west-northwest breeze. Here comes some clouds tomorrow night. Again, back into the 20-degree range in the suburbs, mid to upper 20s around town. A lot of clouds on Saturday, and then we watch that system arrive with maybe a little snow starting very late Saturday night, particularly, I think, Sunday morning. And this one computer model is grinding out about 1 to 2 inches, maybe as much as 3 inches of snow around here. And I think that's a pretty realistic scenario for Sunday morning.
Wow. All right, there we go. Thanks, Nick. Well, breaking news. One person's dead, and the other's in the hospital after a stabbing in Brooklyn.
Fox 6's Kendall Green is live in Bergen Beach tonight. Kendall, what can you tell us?
Hey, good evening, Steve and Natasha. Just to lay out the scene here, there's still a small police presence here lining 69th Street here in Bergen Beach, Brooklyn. So far, we can't confirm that this is now a homicide investigation, according to police. Now, so far, police have shared just after 7:30 this evening. They responded to reports of a stabbing and assault here in the area. Multiple NYPD officers were dispatched here to East 69th Street here in Bergen Beach, Brooklyn. And when they arrived, they found a man and a woman, both 49 years old, suffering with stab wounds throughout their bodies. Now, authorities shared the pair of victims have been taken to Brookdale Hospital, where, according to police, one is listed in critical condition at this time. Police just shared here on scene the 49-year-old man died at the hospital. Now, a police source confirmed that NYPD is searching for someone who fled the scene in a blue 2029 Toyota SUV.
It's sad and not something I'm expecting in this area. It's so close to me at this time, even though we're in a broken world. But, I hope we'll never have a repeat.
Now, a few things we're still working to find out here, if at all, how and if at all the man, the woman, and the person behind the stabbing are related, and if there's anyone else involved. And lastly, the circumstances that led to this incident. Now, as soon as we get more information, we'll provide that both on air and online. But that's the latest here in Bergen Beach, Brooklyn. Kendall Green, Fox 5 News. Steve, Natasha.
All right, thanks, Kendall. Well, the man accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk made his first court appearance today.
And Stephanie Bertini is live in the newsroom to tell us what happened. Steph.
Yeah, Natasha, Steve, Tyler Robinson, the man accused of killing the political activist on a college campus in September, faced a judge today. Robinson is charged with 7 state criminal counts, including aggravated murder. At issue in court was whether cameras should be banned in the courtroom. In fact, there was drama today when one of the media cameras showed Robinson in shackles and picked up audio between Robinson and his attorneys. The defense says the violation that occurred today reinforces why cameras should be banned for the trial. The judge did rule cameras were allowed for today's hearing, however, ordered the cameras be moved.
if there's further violations of the standing decorum order, this court does have the right and will exercise termination of broadcast of these proceedings. And I simply want to put all parties on notice, to the press, to all parties, that this court takes this very seriously.
Kirk was shot and killed at Utah Valley University while he was speaking to students at an outdoor event. Kirk's wife believes cameras should be allowed in court. The issue over cameras in the court for the trial will take place at a hearing in January. Prosecutors have said if Robinson is convicted, they plan to seek the death penalty. Robinson has not yet entered a plea. Live in the newsroom, I'm Stephanie Bertini. Back to you, Steve.
Well, all right, thanks, Steph. The NYPD says the driver of a bus lost control of the vehicle this afternoon and slammed into scaffolding in Murray Hill. It happened on 41st Street between Lexington and Park Avenues. The driver treated on scene for minor injuries. No one else was on board. The Department of Building is now looking into the damage that was done to the scaffolding.
In Newark, 4 suspects are behind bars tonight, accused of taking part in that mass shooting on Chancellor Avenue last month. Surveillance cameras here capturing the wild scene from November 15th. Police say 2 teens opened fire onto a crowd, killing 3 people, including a 10-year-old boy. 2 others were hurt, officials addressing the role that gun violence played in this incident.
It's everybody's obligation to do what they can. We can't take guns off the street like we'd like to until they change the laws and prevent guns from being as readily available. Then that's going to be a fight we're going to have to deal with, but we'll continue to fight that fight.
The suspects are facing multiple felonies, including 3 counts of first-degree murder.
For the second time in a week, a grand jury declines to re-indict New York Attorney General Letitia James. It comes after a federal judge last month dismissed mortgage fraud charges against James, ruling that the special prosecutor in the case was illegally appointed. The Justice Department has not indicated whether it will try to re-indict the New York AG for a 3rd time. James has said the case is politically motivated and has denied any wrongdoing.
Luigi Mangione was back in court today for day 6 of his pretrial hearing. His lawyers are asking the judge to throw out key evidence obtained at that McDonald's in Pennsylvania where he was arrested. Because police didn't have a search warrant and lacked the grounds to justify a search without one, the primary focus today was the search of his backpack. The arresting officer maintained the search was legal because they were arresting Mangione for having a fake ID, but he also admitted he knew the suspect was wanted for the murder of the United Healthcare CEO.
Well, tonight, police are asking for the public's help finding the suspect wanted in the stabbing of a man on the subway platform at Union Square Station. Police releasing photos of the suspect accused of repeatedly stabbing a 45-year-old male victim on Wednesday morning as he exited an L train. He was last seen wearing a black jacket and in possession of a black backpack and a scooter. The victim was taken to the hospital in stable condition. If you have any information, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers 1-800-577-TIPS.
Kilmar Abrego Garcia has finally been released from an immigration detention center in Pennsylvania. That's according to his attorney. Earlier today, a federal judge ordered him to be set free immediately. Abrego Garcia entered the U.S. illegally as a teen and has lived in Maryland for years with his American wife and child. In March, he was mistakenly deported to El Salvador and was returned in June, only to be detained again. The Department of Homeland Security says it will appeal today's decision.
The Senate votes on rival health care bills, with both failing to pass. Affordable Care Act subsidies end in 3 weeks and will trigger a sharp increase in the price people pay for their insurance.
That's right. Fox 9's Sharon Crowley is live in the studio. A lot is at stake here, Sharon.
Absolutely, Natasha. Health insurance premiums will significantly increase January 1st for millions of Americans on Obamacare unless Congress and the president do something to stop it. The Senate today rejecting legislation to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits, essentially guaranteeing that millions of Americans will see a steep rise in costs at the beginning of this year of 2026. Now, 2 partisan bills failed in the Senate today. Senators rejected a Democratic bill to extend the subsidies for 3 years and a Republican alternative that would have created new health savings accounts. While Democrats are trying to renew COVID-era Obamacare subsidies to keep those costs down, Republicans say the program is riddled with fraud and want to expand health savings accounts for users, allowing them to shop for their own coverage.
Republicans owned every bit of it because of the way they voted today. Shameful. Shame on them.
Republicans are focused on putting more money into people's pockets.
Well, there are at least two proposals in the House that have the support of both Republican and Democrat members. Both extend the tax credits for 1 or 2 years with guardrails to crack down on fraud. But Democrats know nothing gets done without the president's blessing.
The president is prepared to take action on health care, and he wants Republicans on the Hill to do the same.
Well, the House may vote on the bipartisan proposals in a matter of days after the sponsors went around the Republican leadership, which has yet to reveal its own plan. All this as the deadline looms, and soaring premiums, Steve, could come in just weeks.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Sharon. Well, this Sunday, December 14th, marks 13 years since 21st graders and 6 educators were killed in a shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. Lawmakers joining gun violence survivors and advocates in Washington, D.C. this morning to honor the victims and recommit themselves to fighting gun violence across the country. Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal once again calling for a ban on assault weapons and ghost guns. He says he's inspired by what he sees from younger generations.
It may not come while we are here, but make no mistake, this new generation will lead us to winning against gun violence.
And according to figures released by Blumenthal, 1.3 million Americans have been killed or injured by guns since the time of that shooting in December of 2012. Well, Suffolk County Police showing criminals they can't run and they cannot hide.
Yeah, the new high-tech tool that was able to catch an alleged shoplifter.
And Mayor-elect Mamdani pushing one of his campaign promises forward, how he says he plans to deliver on universal child care.
And a dazzling display is captivating visitors. We are live in Diker Heights with the Christmas cheer.
News on
Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani gearing up to take office on January 1st by meeting with New Yorkers.
And today he spent time at a child care center in Chelsea talking about his campaign promise of universal child care. Fox 8's Morgan McKay takes a look at how to make his plan into reality.
And Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani actually met with some business leaders this morning to discuss his free childcare plan and what a successful model would look like to them. Mamdani only mentioned a few of the business leaders he met with privately this morning, including Partnership for NYC CEO Catherine Wild, who represents some of the city's largest corporations, and our soon-to-be successor, Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop. Mamdani has pitched raising taxes on businesses and corporations to help pay for his free childcare plan, something Governor Kathy Hochul has also expressed interest in looking at next year. The plan is still short on many details, however, including how the city would hire these childcare educators or even where they would find or build these childcare facilities. Mamdani was asked today if his team knows how many families would likely take advantage of this free childcare program.
There are many families who are not being given any kind of options that they can actually utilize because of what it would mean for themselves and for their children. And so the specifics of how many families, how many centers, that's exactly what we're hard at work at right now over the course of this transition.
Mamdani also said today his team is still going through the interview process to determine the next school's chancellor, which reportedly could include Melissa Avelis Ramos, a current school's chancellor. Mamdani also dodging questions on mayoral control. He campaigned on ending the practice, which allows a mayor to hire the school's chancellor and appoint a majority of the school board, but said today he's still reviewing his options.
I'm still in favor of creating a system that has more involvement for parents, for students and teachers. I'm still just as critical as I've been, and frankly it's a criticism that comes out of an exhaustion of having seen so many try to participate in a system of our public education only to see decisions being made without any of their input taken into account.
Now, when it comes to Mamdani's inauguration, no details yet, but Governor Kathy Hochul says she'll likely attend. But Mayor Eric Adams telling New York One that he's still deciding whether or not he'll go. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Morgan McKay, Fox 5 News.
New Jersey Governor-elect Mikey Sherrill kicking off a statewide diner tour today. This morning she stopped at the Randolph Diner. Sherrill says that diners in New Jersey are iconic and a great way to meet and talk to everyday people. She said some customers talked to her about affordability while she told them about her plans to lower cost and invest in communities.
I was just upstairs at the chamber. There's a chamber meeting here for the town, and they were saying, you know, they want to see good stuff for businesses, and I reminded them that a large part of my platform is making sure small businesses run well. We cut through permitting and red tape issues and see New Jerseyans thrive.
Cheryl is encouraging people living in New Jersey to fill out a survey on what they want for the future of the state. You can find it at nj.gov/govelect.
The former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch faces a court hearing in March to determine whether he's mentally competent to stand trial on sex trafficking charges. Michael Jeffries has been hospitalized in recent months for dementia and Alzheimer's symptoms, but prosecutors said in a letter to the court the 81-year-old is mentally fit after spending time at a federal medical center in North Carolina. Jeffries' attorney disputed the assessment. The March hearing will allow medical experts to testify to his competency. Jeffries has pleaded not guilty to the charges.
A rally outside Governor Hochul's office in Midtown calling for changes to New York's home care system known as CDPAP. It's a New York State Medicaid program that allows families to hire their own caregivers. But after the state consolidated it under one company this year, advocates say families have been forced out of the program and there have been widespread payment issues. They want state lawmakers to address the problems during next year's session.
There were times when I had a fall and had to wait until my minor child came home from school to call 911 because I didn't have a caregiver available to provide support.
We reached out to Governor Hochul's office for comment, but have not heard back.
New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy declaring a state of emergency because of a propane shortage. The order takes effect at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Murphy taking action because of anticipated impacts on propane deliveries due to a service disruption at a plant in Pennsylvania. There are 186,000 New Jerseyans who rely on propane to heat their homes. Right now, there's no timeline for when that emergency order will expire.
Applications are now being accepted in the third phase of the 2026 FIFA World Cup ticket sale. Fans can apply for 4 tickets per match and 40 tickets for the tournament in FIFA's random selection draw that runs between today and January 13th. Those who are successful will be notified in February. And for the first time since sales began, fans can apply for single match tickets. We talked to a consultant about what he finds to be the most challenging part about this ticket buying process.
I think probably the biggest hurdle is going to be that number, right? And getting your FIFA ID number, because there's, it's a step in the process that people aren't necessarily used to.
Tickets for the final at MetLife Stadium are already selling for more than $11,000 on the secondary market. And remember, Fox 5 is your home for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. You can look for updates and features leading up to the big event next summer.
Well, the Mo Better Jaguars are a step closer to a repeat championship.
Their work is not done. They are getting ready for the Pop Warner Super Bowl.
And instead of going green, DOT is going blue. How they plan to alleviate highway congestion by hitting the water. Mo Better Jaguars from Brownsville, Brooklyn, one win away from becoming Pop Warner champs for the second straight year. They're going to play the championship game this Saturday in North Carolina after blowing out Lake Travis from Texas 40-0 earlier this week. The team now perfect 16-0. Their head coach says it's just one more game for these kids.
For them, keeping them off the street and, teaching them to be young men, principles, character. That's always first, and then like I said, the winning just is the icing on the cake. So we want to let Brooklyn know, Brownsville, that everything we're doing is to represent them.
Look at those kids in the back.
Those kids were locked in. No, I know. They were serious. I was just thinking the same thing. That's so funny. This is the 4th time the Mo Better Jaguars have made the championship in the past 2 decades. All right.
Gosh.
They don't need our good luck. They are locked in.
They are killing it.
Very
good. All right, let's get a check of the forecast now with Nick taking a live look outside. It's brutally cold.
Yeah,
windy
cold
too.
and windy. Nick, this does feel more like January, right?
It sure does, that's for sure, with that wind out of the west-northwest and gusty, and even a couple of snow showers trying to get towards us today. They didn't really get all that successful around here as, again, we look across the area. So, My machine is not moving here. Why is it not going there? Anyway, take a look at that picture while I try to solve the problem. Again, we're talking about temperatures that have been steadily dropping. You know, we were in the 40s earlier, and then we ended up with temperatures kind of holding in the lower 30s most of the day, and now it's going to operate, I'm pretty sure. Yes, there we go. So you can see those snow squalls coming in from the west, and they're not making it our way. They're drying out before they get here, so again, that's sort of the good news there. But we will find two systems that we're looking at. The first one is here. That's, as you see, is diving south and eastward. So we're going to miss out on that one. It is producing a pretty good swath of some light snow, but I want to take you to western parts of Canada, and notice the energy coming in here along the west coast here. This will be the next system that's going to drop southward and eventually come across the Ohio Valley and move into our neighborhood, and that's going to be our opportunity to pick up some snow, which will be happening early Sunday morning. So take a look at our futurecast overnight. Sky goes clear, and we'll see sunshine here for tomorrow. So nice day, but cold. 20s out the door in the city, teens in the suburbs, no higher than mid-30s tomorrow afternoon. All right, Saturday, the clouds come back. Nothing's going to happen during Saturday. Little sun even break through here and there. But notice as we get to Saturday night here, about 10 o'clock, we're starting to pick up moisture streaking in from the south and west. That's that next system coming our way, and it'll produce that threat of snow to about mid-Sunday morning. Potential again will be for about 1, 2, 3 inches of snow. That does include the city, maybe a little bit more into southern New Jersey. Tonight, it's teens in the suburbs, mid-20s in the city as the sky goes clear. Sunny tomorrow, but no higher than the low and middle 30s. Steve and Natasha?
All right, Nick, thank you. Well, the city is launching a historic pilot program today. It's called Blue Highways and uses the city's waterways to deliver small goods like cosmetics, fashion, and household items. The aquatic plan will use boats to move items between Manhattan and Brooklyn, which are then transferred to a small bicycle. Officials say it will reduce congestion on the roads and help the city's supply chain.
There will be fewer miles driving by trucks, less double parking, and more reliable deliveries. And we know that when we make the streets safer, it bring great outcome to everyone.
Right now, the freight will be moved between Manhattan's Pier 79 and the Brooklyn Marine Terminal, then delivered by these electric cargo bikes. Well, first he's fired and then thrown in jail. Michigan loses their star football coach in dramatic fashion.
Yeah, newly obtained 911 call by TMZ revealing info about police detaining the college sports coach.
And the Queens DA brings a hammer down. How prosecutors busted an alleged Home Depot theft ring.
All right, plus an inside look at how cops are using drones to catch criminals.
The 10 o'clock news.
A multi-state theft ring busted in Queens. 13 people facing charges for allegedly stealing over $2 million of construction items. Welcome back to the 10 o'clock news. I'm Steve Lacey.
And I'm Natasha Verma. Prosecutors say the group hit a number of Home Depot stores, allegedly stealing items and then selling them on the black market.
Okay, Fox 5 Stephanie Bertini is live in the newsroom with how officials finally caught on. Steph.
Yeah, construction materials, power tools, and air conditioning units, just some of the many items the Queens DA says were stolen and sold for profit. According to officials, the theft operation was targeting Home Depot locations in New York and 8 other states. Now 13 people are facing charges detailed in a 780-count indictment. Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz and Governor Kathy Hochul in a news conference today announcing what Katz describes as the largest and most brazen retail theft crew ever prosecuted in Queens County. The DA says surveillance video shows the crimes unfolding inside the stores. In one video, you see a man dumping merchandise in a giant garbage bin. That bin later wheeled out of a store past employees and other customers. And then we also see a cart full of what investigators say is stolen merch being wheeled right out of another store. A multi-agency investigation dating back to April 2024. Investigators say all started after large amounts of stolen merchandise were identified as being sold online.
We allege that this crew met up in Queens County, hatched their plan in Queens County, and transported the stolen product to Queens and then sell them for a profit. The top charge in the indictment is grand larceny in the first degree, criminal possession, and criminal possession of stolen property in the first degree. All defendants are charged with the conspiracy.
You commit these crimes, we're coming after you. You will be caught, you will be prosecuted, and you'll regret the day you ever started. trying to rip off businesses like Home Depot and others across our country.
The suspect's now facing larceny, conspiracy, and criminal possession of stolen property charges for allegedly stealing and fencing more than $2.2 million in merch as part of more than 300 separate thefts at 128 Home Depots in 9 states. They're facing between 15 and 25 years behind bars if convicted. During the investigation, search warrants were executed, we're told, at 3 homes in Flushing, Elmhurst, and Brooklyn, more than a dozen storage units, and several vehicles searched as well. At the news conference today, some of the merchandise the DA says was stolen put on display. The items also now evidence in the case. The Queens DA says the crew was very organized and they would work together to steal and sell, even stopping for lunch breaks in between at times. We're told, and we're also told, that they were working together to keep eyes on security guards at times. Back to you, Steve.
All right, thanks, Stephanie. Suffolk County Police recently went high-tech to track down a suspected shoplifter. On Wednesday, police activated their Drones as First Responders program after the suspect fled. Officials say it didn't take long for the thermal imaging scans to locate the alleged shoplifter hiding in someone's backyard. Suffolk County Police Commissioner Kevin Catalina said that technology in this case saved the day.
Frankly, might not have found her at all. You know, you hide in a backyard. It's very difficult for us to search every backyard in a neighborhood. So, she was, quick enough to get away from us initially after the car accident, and, smart enough to hide in the backyard. And had we have not had that technology, we might not have got her.
The commissioner also said this was the first apprehension made with the drone program.
Breaking news right now, a woman is in stable condition after getting stabbed inside Macy's Herald Square. Police say it happened at around 3 o'clock this afternoon on the 7th floor. The 38-year-old victim was stabbed in the back and right arm, and according to sources, the attack was unprovoked. Police say a 43-year-old woman has been arrested and charged with attempted murder and assault. The University of Michigan, rocked by scandal. Football coach Sherrone Moore is thrown in jail just hours after being fired from his position.
The university citing an inappropriate relationship with a staff member for his removal. Fox 5's Jennifer Williams joins us now live in studio with this developing story that everyone is talking about tonight, Jen.
That's right, Steve. Michigan is one of the most storied programs in all of college football, so this has shocked the sports world, but it's a story surrounded by a lot of speculation. Here's what we know. Sherrone Moore was taken into police custody Wednesday night, where he remains after spending the night in jail and has yet to be charged. Authorities have also haven't released details on his arrest, but on Wednesday afternoon, University of Michigan Athletic Director Ward Manuel released a statement announcing the abrupt firing of Moore, which read, quote, head football coach Sherrone Moore has been terminated with cause effective immediately. Following a university investigation, credible evidence was found that Coach Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. This conduct constitutes a clear violation of university policy, and UM maintains zero tolerance for such behavior. Now, since Moore was fired with cause, the school doesn't have to buy him out. The two sides agreed to a 5-year deal worth $27.5 million when Moore took over in January of 2024 after Jim Harbaugh left for the NFL. The 39-year-old was the first African-American head coach in program history and served as the interim head coach for 4 games in 2023 when Harbaugh was suspended for sign stealing and recruiting violations. The team went 4-0 during that span, and Moore helped lead the team to a national title. TMZ obtained dispatch audio stemming from the alleged incident with a woman claiming she was being attacked at her home.
Just called the caller, told her there's a male at the location, and now it's attacking her. It's been stalking her for months.
On that 911 call, the woman, when she was reporting that there was this guy at her home who was being violent, she said that he has been stalking me for months. So it paints a picture, and it does kind of line up with some of the things that we've heard about this relationship with this alleged staffer going bad.
Moore, who is married with 3 young daughters, could reportedly be arraigned on Friday. Now, Biff Poggi was named as interim head coach of college football's winningest program. Michigan is slated to play Texas in the Citrus Bowl on December 31st. I'll send it back to you, Tim.
Yeah, so many rumors flying around with this one. All right, Jen, thanks so much. A Long Island man is trying to reverse the curse on New York sports teams.
All right, it's been rough for the Mets, Knicks, Jets, and Giants. The new phrase he's coined to pay tribute to long-suffering local sports fans. Well, it's been more than 39 years since the Mets won the World Series, and many fans often say there's always next year.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Instead of dwelling on the years of bad seasons, a Long Island man is turning the suffering into something fun. Fox 8's Jody Goldberg introduces us to the founder of Forever Next Year New York.
It's the kind of loyalty you can literally wear, a feeling stitched into fabric. And for 27-year-old Justin Silverlust, that passion started long before he ever printed a shirt.
Growing up, it was always Mets, Jets, Knicks.
Growing up on Long Island and going to many games, Justin saved everything. Ticket stubs, pictures from the games he went to, even the baseballs he managed to catch while he was there.
One of my favorite players growing up was Jose Reyes.
And with every season, Justin kept his head up, even when his favorite teams continued to let him down.
We always find a way to somehow not end up winning the championship at the end of the season.
So the finance guy took a swing at fashion, and now the same dining room where he once did his homework doubles as his showroom.
I'm a ride or die. I'll never change up on my teams.
His brand, Forever Next Year New York. It's a tribute to everyone who's lost track of just how many times they've said maybe next season.
Our teams might let us down, but we can come together. And the clothing and the merch, this is just a badge of honor.
Since he started in September, Justin sold nearly 100 pieces, turning fan frustration into a community uniform.
Instead of buying their favorite players' jerseys that get traded every season, Forever Next Year will always stay in style.
And the movement is already catching on.
This is going to go to other suffering fan bases in other states.
And while the brand is Forever Next Year, this is the only Forever Is Now shirt that he's selling and manifesting. He says the Knicks are the closest team to turning next year into right now, and he hopes the slogan will reverse the curse.
Only one team really wins in sports every year. So the rest of the teams, such as the Jets, the other 31, there is next year, and we have to stay together, be true to our form, and we'll get there forever next year.
Justin says the goal is simple.
If I can create a community and a reason for people that are frustrated and something to smile about, I will have done my job.
Laughing through the losses and hoping for more luck. On Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
You know what? Good for him. He's making money off of our
That's right.
vaccines.
That's right. He's serving a valuable purpose.
Yeah.
All right. Well, from pop-up to permanent, a new coffee shop is a prime spot to meet up with some friends.
We're going to take you inside Central Park ahead of its grand opening tomorrow. And Richard G. Cobus is having a holly jolly time in Brooklyn. Hey, Richard.
Still having a holly jolly time, Steve and Natasha. You know, Christmas in New York City, what's the best attraction to see? Well, it may very well be Diker Heights. The Christmas lights in Diker Heights. We'll preview it all and tell you the history around this specific house next on the 10 o'clock news.
And I'm glad to see you're all bundled up, Richard, because that cold air is moving on down from the north and west here. Not worried about this area of snow. It's the one behind it that we'll talk about when the 10 o'clock news returns.
Any jobs are available with...
Beautiful voice, right? Well, Metropolitan Opera performers took their talents to the Winter Village at Bryant Park this afternoon, performing Mozart ahead of opening night for the Magic Flute. Soprano Raynell Krauss made her Met Opera debut in the annual holiday production, which runs until Saturday, January 3rd.
That is lovely. What a nice day for that. All right, in Diker Heights, of course, giving Santa a run for his money. The neighborhood is lighting up Brooklyn with over-the-top sparkling lights. As it is, it's always wild.
Yeah, and Mr. Christmas himself, Richard Giacobis, is live from the festivities. Richard, how's it going out there?
You have to be sick of me right now, Natasha.
No way.
Too much Christmas yet or no? Okay, all right, good. So I'll continue on. You know, there's Christmas lights, and then there's Diker Heights Christmas lights. And let me tell you, this elaborate spectacle that comes year after year brings in hundreds of thousands of people from all over the world to take all of this in. And let me tell you, when you see it in person, it is quite something. An extravaganza with not only lights, but toy soldiers, giant inflatables, nutcrackers, animatronics, a living nativity, all spread across 4 festive blocks. here in Dyker Heights in the southwest part of Brooklyn. There's always a story behind all of this started. The kudos goes to Lucy Spada, who moved here with her husband back in 1986. This is her house. The two of them love Christmas so much, but they wanted to put Dyker Heights on the map. Nearly 4 decades later, they come in by the busloads to all the homes here in Dyker Heights. But there's something special about Lucy's house, after all. This is where it all started.
Started this in 1986, me and my husband. He was a fanatic with Christmas like me. And we started decorating because there was nothing on this block that said Christmas. And we couldn't take it. So we started decorating. And we kept adding and adding year after year, year after year. It's personal. It has a feeling. It has a story. It talks to you. I mean, I don't even know her husband. I want to run and give her a hug because it made me...
Go ahead, go and hug her. Go ahead, go and hug her. Go ahead, go and hug her. Look at this. Look at them. They're hugging Lucy because this is what Christmas is all about. A little bit of our clip there from our newsroom live. Those are the things that happen on live streaming, so make sure you watch, and it's all organic. So if you want to come to Dyker Heights, Christmas lights, they're lit up every night, some till 10 o'clock, some till midnight. They're keeping them on for us tonight, so you can come to Dyker Heights now through mid-January. Come by foot, come by car, come by bus on the tour. It is quite the sight, and it never disappoints. We're live in Dyker Heights. Richard Jacobus, Mr. Christmas signing off.
Yes, well done as always on the Christmas beat. No one better. We appreciate it. It is beautiful out there in Dyker Heights, no doubt.
He's on the nice list for sure.
He better be getting taken care of by Santa this year.
If he's not on the nice list, I don't know who is. All right, let's get a check of the forecast now with Nick. Everyone's bundled up outside.
Yes, and for good reason. It's cold, it's still a bit windy, and yeah, that is a spectacular place. Years ago, I did a couple of live shots from there myself, and if you've not done it, you really owe it to yourself to get down there. It'll be a line, it'll be a crowd, but it's something you have to see. Well, what about today? 41, 29. Yeah, back to where we are below average. Where yesterday we actually were above average. 66 and 6 in the records. That record, though, 1880. Sunrise 710, down 428. You will see all of it tomorrow, but it'll be chilled sunshine. Then we have some clouds out there now, 29. Wind out of the west. It is still a bit breezy, though. Humidity still pretty dry, actually. Pressure rising, good sign there, 29.82. Up, and the temperature's heading down. 23 Scranton, 19 now Monticello. Upper 20s to mid-20s Hudson Valley. Over to Connecticut, 29 on the east end. Same for the city, Newark, Belmar, and Trenton. And we find these numbers are definitely 12 to 13, 20, or 14 degrees colder than this time last night, thanks to that west to west-northwest wind that's brought back that colder air. And now it's averaging about 10 to 15 miles an hour, but the gusts are still pushing 25 to 30. It's going to stay breezy tonight. It's going to stay breezy tomorrow, and that's bringing wind chills into the teens just about everywhere we go here. So it's going to be a cold wait for the bus or car ride tomorrow morning. All right, so highs for the day, upper 30s to about 40, pretty uniform most of the area. Same deal going in towards New England, 36 there at Concord, New Hampshire, but we're back below freezing. Rochester, Cleveland, those areas were in the high 30s yesterday. Even some 40-degree weather there, but not today. Cincinnati, 31. 40s were pushed down back in towards the Carolinas. All right, so we have some streamers coming in across upstate New York. Squalls coming off the lake. They are not coming our way. Neither is this area of snow associated with this storm system. That's not coming our way. What you can't see is just under our banner there. That's coming our way. That's the next system, and with that as well, there's going to be some more colder air. Look at the air that's diving down now from Canada. That's some seriously cold air up there in central and western Canada. That'll be making its move, and we'll get a taste of that for Sunday and Monday, it looks like. Highs today only teens and 20s, Minneapolis down to Chicago and Des Moines, 40s to Nashville, 50s Atlanta, 70s South Florida, and we pick up 60s and 70s across Texas, nice and mild in the southwest. Even Salt Lake City, 62 today, back towards Portland, Oregon. All right, overnight, sky goes clear, temperatures go down, mid-teens in the suburbs north and west to low and mid-20s for the city and along the coast. For tomorrow, again, temperatures get back only to the low and middle 30s, but at least it'll be a sunny day. Clouds come in tomorrow night. Temperatures will kind of hold in the 20s, most areas, and then we'll look for temperatures to only get back again to about 40 on Saturday as the clouds arrive. But look at this. This is that next storm coming through, and you can see the snow from Connecticut to the city. Maybe a little bit more amounts as we head down in towards southern New Jersey. And again, the potential could be for 1 to 3 inches of snow. I wouldn't rule that out. All right, tonight going down to 26, 35, breezy with sun tomorrow. Snow by Saturday night at 40. Sunday morning it ends. But look at the temperatures, only 30 into Monday. Up 40s, 50 by Thursday. More of the 10 o'clock news, and we come right back.
After Hurricane Melissa devastated Jamaica, the country still needs help rebuilding.
All right, that's where Sean Paul and Shaggy come into play. The pair building a star-studded lineup for tomorrow's relief concert at UBS Arena.
And earlier on Newsroom Live, our Stephanie Bertini caught up with one of the performers.
You yourself, Tazad, you're no stranger to the stage. Some people might recognize you for winning season 5 of The Voice. That's right?
Yes.
So did you train, like vocal training in Jamaica, or was it just kind of a hobby? You mentioned the music, the dancing. It's such an integral part of the culture. Tell us a bit. There you are. We have you there, one of your music videos. Tell us a bit about your background and what you hope to bring to the stage. Of course, this is a fundraising initiative, but it's performance too, right?
For me, you know, you said it perfectly. A part of our culture is our music, is our performing arts, is our sport, is our food. You know, so it's basically something that I grew up into and something I grew up with, and I'm very proud of, and very proud to continue that tradition now, because we have our own performing arts school in Jamaica called Voice Box Performing Arts. So we're very happy about that, to continue that tradition. But in terms of tomorrow night, it's just about being able, like I said, to kind of make lemonade out of limes.
Yes. Yeah, make the best out of a huge curveball, so to speak. I mean, the way you're putting it, it's just interesting because, you know, you see the worst of things, and with something like a natural disaster, you can't control that, right? What's going to happen is going to happen. But it brings to light what could be the worst of things, and also just like all the fear with the build up to it. And then after something like this, and I've covered a lot of different big weather events, people especially, you know, after it's all done, it's like you look around, you see what got damaged, you feel intense grief for any lives lost, but then you also start to look at life a little different.
Absolutely.
You appreciate it to be able to get out of that, and that your loved ones are okay. I mean, tell us for you, how are you feeling now that, of course, Jamaica is still in this recovery, rebuilding phase, but how are you feeling, and how did this experience change you?
Do you know what? It's I can say that as a collective in Jamaica, there was a real reality, a real heaviness, if I'm being completely honest. And, you know, so many people, like, we don't want to sing, we don't want to celebrate, we don't want to, it's almost like it was a grieving.
Like the joy was ripped away, you're saying?
Absolutely. And it's
how could it not be?
Yeah, and you know, even though, like I said, in Kingston, things are pretty much back to normal, it's really like, how can we feel like we're back to normal when if you drive a couple hours away, people are in absolute desperation? It's just like the craziest thing.
Yeah, we brought you that interview live on the Fox local app, and of course the Jamaica Strong Benefit Concert is tomorrow at UBS Arena. Tickets are still available. The show will also be streamed live on YouTube. All right, there's more of the 10 o'clock news straight ahead.
We'll be right back.
Well, of course, the TV show Friends remains a fan favorite despite going off the air more than 20 years ago. Now fans can drink up at a new Central Perk coffee house opening tomorrow in Times Square. You can grab a drink, even sit down on the famous orange sofa. Guests can enjoy a curated menu, which includes a New York City exclusive hero sandwich, the Tribbiani. Perfect.
I love that. All right, let's get one last check of the forecast with Nick. Hey, Nick.
Hello there. Our forecast quite cold again for tonight. We're talking teens in the suburbs, mid-teens at that. Even 12 Sullivan County, low to mid-20s for the city and along the coast. Tomorrow, sunshine, gusty breeze, but a cold day, low and middle 30s. Clouds are back Saturday, get up to 40, then late at night, more so Sunday morning. Snow moves in, only 30 on Sunday, and we could get 1 to 3 inches of snow across the area, so that will stick around with those cold temperatures too. Monday, windy, cold, only 30, back to 35 Tuesday. Up, what's this? Mid-40s Wednesday, up 50 Thursday. Let's see.
Yeah, looking forward to that 50.
Okay.
All right, thanks,
Yeah,
Nick.
good deal. All right, might come with rain though, but whatever.
It's okay. And don't go anywhere. Good night, New York, with Crystal Young and Ryan Christopher is next. You do not want to miss it.
Okay, that does it for us tonight. If you missed any part of the 10 o'clock news, you can always catch an encore on our free streaming app, Fox Local.
Or you can stream our newscast anytime. Have a great night.